welcome back to Apple Tree Allotment. Down here at the weekend, and I've got the kids and Anna with us. Got a big job to do today. Everything's starting to really die back now. Really looking a lot more bare. Our Christmas potatoes, unfortunately, we saw it last week, but they've completely gone to blight. All 4 beds completely gone. So we're going to come down here and rescue any potatoes we can. I'm going to pull off all the tops and put them on the burn pile, get rid of them. And we're just going to dig up all the beds and see what we can get. I did have a bit of a rummage in there, and there was some reasonable sort of fist size, a bit smaller potatoes. So hopefully we'll get a reasonable harvest, but not the sort of big potatoes I was hoping for. But yeah, just luck of the draw, I guess. It's been a bit wet recently, wet and warm, so yeah, perfect blight conditions, I think. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. We're picking the crab apples. Kids are doing that now, so we're gonna pick some of them. They're all ready. Yeah, and we'll have a look around the plot after that. There's all our potato tops on the burn pile. They burn this quite a lot. It's quite big at the moment, so I'll probably burn it this weekend, I should think. Yeah, quite a lot there. All starting to go slimy and brown and horrible. Yeah, go and start digging up the potatoes. Finished clearing out the 4 beds, and all sort of raked back smooth. There's quite a few in there that had been nibbled by mice or voles or something, but there were some good ones in there. There's quite a few decent sized ones. So we've got, this is out of 4 beds. So last time, to compare, the main crop bed we did a couple of weeks ago pretty much filled this bag out of 1 bed, and we've got about half a bag out of 4. So we've got something. It's probably 3 or 4 weeks worth of potatoes for us, I would say. Yeah, so it'll keep us going. We've got enough probably to the end of the year already, so probably keeps going into sort of January time. So yeah, not too bad. At least we've got something out of it. Next job I'm going to do today is I'm going to pick a couple of these butternut squash. There's a couple that look quite ripe. This the big one that come out first. All the vines are starting to die back now anyway, so there's probably not much more growing in them. But the reason I definitely want to get a few today is we found a few like this. I think a rabbit has been chewing away. So yeah, I think there's time to pick them before they get eaten. We picked our butternut squash. We decided to pick them all in the end because there's a couple of them that have been nibbled on the underside quite a lot. So I thought better to harvest them now than lose them later on. Some of them are really ripe and nice. These two, the first 2 I picked, they look really good. We've got 8 in total. I threw away 3, I think. So yeah, there's a couple of them. These last 2 are quite green on one side, but we'll put them in our porch. It gets quite hot, and in the sunshine, hopefully that will ripen them up, better than them getting eaten, I think. Yeah, so that's this year's crop. It's probably about the same as last year, actually, I'd say. Yeah, so quite happy with that in the end. Now we've just got, there was a couple more on here, but they had chew marks on, so I've left them on. Yeah, so I'm going to clear all these vines back now, I think. Clear it all up. It's sad to see it go, but yeah, that's the next job. We'll clear all that up and put it in the compost bin. I've tidied away all the butternut squash and old pumpkin vines. So they're all gone now. They were all the way out here and right the way back 2 and a bit beds. Yeah, so that looks a lot clearer now. I just need to I'll probably put some compost on these beds over winter just to mulch them. Yeah, so that's these first 6 beds empty. We've still got at the back here courgettes, and we've got sweet potatoes in here, which we were trying this year. And it does, like, I had a little look in the soil, and it does look like there is some sweet potatoes in there. So they're still quite green at the moment, so I'm going to leave them for a little bit. But yeah, I think we might get a harvest from that. There's also a couple of bits of garlic growing. So this is where we had them last year, so they've obviously missed some. But yeah, I'll leave them in there. No harm in them being there. The back we've got our daffodils. We did have a rabbit that dug a big hole in that. It doesn't look like they've taken any bulbs. So yeah, that's looking okay. So all these are empty now. Over the other side we've got our leeks are doing well. Our spring onions, so they'll keep growing through the winter. We've got our beetroot, it's doing well, and a little bit of chard at this end, that's still doing well. Got a bed of chard over here, which is looking good. There's a couple of really good sized ones now, because it's been quite warm. I think they've grown quite well this year. Yeah, we'll start using those. We've got 2 beds at home of these as well, so we'll start using them first because they're a bit bigger. And at the back here we've got our other bed of courgettes. There's a few on here at the moment, a few growing. I'll let them get a little bit bigger because we've got absolutely tons of them at home. The yellow one seems to have slowed right off now. They're all tiny. But yeah, they're looking good. And then on the other plot, we've got our onions and garlic in, looking nice. And we've started this bed with the plastic. Yeah, I think the next job is starting to mulch down our beds and start tidying up a bit, sort out some of these paths that have got run down a bit. Yeah, might think about some broad beans in some of the beds. Yeah, we'll see. So I hope you enjoyed having a look around today. Got some quite big jobs done in the end. Got those potatoes out and the squash. Yeah, looking forward to starting to prep for next year now. So look forward to seeing you next week.